From 1536 to 1541, Henry VIII closed every monastery and nunnery in England and Wales, including this monastery, which is known as Titchfield Abbey. With the loss of all those houses of prayer across our nation, slowly but surely, the decay of the Christian faith was unleashed on Great Britain. But now, just 7 minutes drive away from Titchfield Abbey, is a new experiment known as the Prayer Farm. An experiment where we go back to working the land, going back to ancient praying, and going back to authentic Christian community. A journey of rediscovery as we go back to those ancient paths that once bathed this nation in prayer. Our once great nation has now fallen to secularism, and it's now time to go back to that ancient path, that ancient way. For the last 4 years, we've been working this land and we've been praying on this land. But now we feel it's time to implement the last phase of the plan, which is to go back to those ancient monastic disciplines of the past, which will help the future. So the Prayer Farm was started probably, I think, in 2021, and initially it just started off really as a source of food security. We felt that things were going to get worse in society, and therefore we just felt that we needed to protect ourselves as a church, and just by growing our own food, it was something we felt that we needed to do. And we've been doing that for about 4 years now, and it was really interesting because as we did that, we literally stumbled across something that we didn't really realize before, and that was authentic Christian community, where Christians are working together, they're praying together, and they're seeing the rewards from the beginning of the season to the end of the season and eating the fruit of their labours. It was a really interesting thing. You know, as a pastor, I've been trying to create authentic community for many years. It just never worked. And suddenly we started this prayer farm, and then authentic community was discovered. But we discovered other things as well. We felt very strongly that God was saying that He wanted this place not just to be a farm, but also a place of prayer and a place of pilgrimage. And so this farm here is, we work on this land, and this room here is a place where the workers rest, but it's also a place where we pray as well. And so we felt for a little while now that we had to go back to the ancient paths by praying the office of the hours at things like 9, 12, 3 o'clock, and praying matins and evensong, as well as all the other kind of corporate and communal prayer that we do. And we felt that that was really important to bring that back and to bring a sense of stability and a point of anchor. We have this very narrow veneer of what we think Christianity is. But when you work on the land, there's so much more to it than that. For example, the soil, it contains an enzyme that reacts with something in the brain that gives you a sense of well-being when you're working the land. The soil has literally been created with man in mind to work it. And that's a complete disconnect between modern Christians and the world around. They're completely disconnected from this beautiful, wonderful spiritual world in which we're living in. And for us, it's really being a journey, and it's an ongoing journey of going back into the past to save the future, a journey of rediscovery. The 1960s media theorist Marshall McLuhan, a practicing Christian, once said that everyone he knew who lost his faith began by ceasing to pray. If we are to live rightly ordered Christian lives, then prayer must be the basis of everything we do. If a defining characteristic of the modern world is disorder, then the most fundamental act of resistance
is to establish order. An order which the church has been praying for thousands of years. It's the beginning of the season here at the prayer farm, and as you can see, there's not much going on just yet. But like the church, it's time for a new season and a time to plant some ancient seeds and see those ancient methods of prayer and ways of prayer re-established over this land again.